So guys, for those of you who want to learn Jiu-Jitsu from Prof. Niko, especially in these self-quarantine times, you can just come and visit synergymma.com. Right, Prof?
Yeah,
Synergymma.com? Yeah.
synergymma.com or synergyjujitsu.com.
Or you can just come to any affiliate schools across Indonesia. There are so many Jiu-Jitsu schools now, which is under Professor Niko, under Synergy MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. So, Prof, can you tell us a little bit about your online course, about your online curriculum there?
Yeah, so I developed an online classes where I record all the classes that I teach, and I upload them on a weekly basis, and any member can access the videos, anytime from their phone, from their laptop, any of the old classes as well. You can always go back to the archives. So I have I think it's almost 3 years of classes that I've uploaded, and you can go from the first class onto the online academy, and you can follow the program. So the reason why I did this is because I have students and instructors that are not in Bali, so they can't come to my classes. So I do an annual Synergy training camp once a year, but you still I want the students I want more, so I thought, okay, instead of me coming to their academies once a year or twice a year and do a seminar, I thought even better is if I videotape all my classes. So that means the student is virtually, even though not physically in class, they're virtually in class, and they can watch it again and again, teach it to their students, practice it themselves, where let's say the instructor says, okay, this is what I learned, this is what I was teaching today, what Niko was teaching today, let's practice it together, where the instructor is not like, because the instructor often also is learning, because he's watching the video and learning, and so he says, okay, let's learn this together, let's practice this together, and then they can follow the program, the whole system. So it's not random classes, I'm actually teaching systems, okay, where I did, for example, I started off, this was 2 years ago in April, I think I started the videos, and we started with crucifix, side control, all the different ways to escape, and then all the different ways to finish. I think that was about a month or two, or a month maybe. And then I think I did like the turtle position, different ways to escape, different ways to finish from the top, different ways to finish from the bottom. I think that was 4 months of just turtle. I just did
4 months only for turtle. Okay.
Yeah, because there's so much, and it's so important position. And then I did, what else did, and then I forget now what came after, but I remember I did, for example, the triangle choke, different escapes, I think like 7 escapes or 8 escapes. We did that for a whole month. Then we did armbar escapes for a whole month, footlock escapes for a whole month, or leg lock escapes. And then there was more in between, I forget exactly the timeline, but it's all on the online academy. Right now, we're doing the guard reversals. So before the guard reversals, I did guard retention. So from all the different guard positions, from let's say your partner standing right in front of you, and then when the partner is standing, getting closer, like about feet distance away, and then from the partner on one knee, and then the partner on both knees, and then the partner in the close guard, partner in half guard, partner in butterfly guard, half guard, 3/4 mount, and then back. So that we did that for guard retention, and then now we are in guard reversal. And we did that same thing again from all the different positions. And then after we're done with this, so now we're in half guard. I'm doing half guard already, like maybe a month of just half guard, something like that. And then reversals, different reversals. And then from there, after that, we're going to go back to where the partner is standing in front of you and guard submissions. And then after we've done all the submissions from the guard, then we're going to go to guard striking with strikes. So then we add the strikes. Yeah, then we add the strikes. So we did positional, like guard retention, guard reversals, guard submission. And then now the student has, developed better knowledge and better muscle memory of the guard, the open guard, particularly open guard I'm talking about. And then now we're going to add strikes to it after that. Everything controlled, 5% striking, nothing hard, anything simulated. You know, if we simulate headbutts, we simulate elbows, so we don't want to hurt each other. But I'm trying to make it as real as it gets. You know, so my goal is that my responsibility as teaching martial arts, martial meaning combat, is that I teach my students how to defend themselves. Okay, so if they ever happen to, God forbid, to have to defend themselves and they're in a bad situation, in a bad position, let's say they're being mounted, they will know exactly how to escape that position without getting hit. You know, how do you get out of a bad position off on your back, stand up and get away without getting hit, meaning without getting headbutted, without getting elbowed, punched, slammed. Slamming is a huge strike. Probably one of the most devastating strikes is getting slammed.
And headbutt.
Things like that. Yeah. So I think that's should be the core curriculum. That's kind of how I see it. To make sure you know how to defend yourself. You know, how to take somebody down. You know, a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners are losing these skills because of the sport, the rules of the sport they're doing. Okay, and that's the problem. Like the rules of sports, if the rules are so limited or so strict on certain things, that if the practitioner skill set is revolved around those rules, they often will lose this. You know, lose skill sets. Like, for example, how to take somebody down while the attacker is trying to strike you. For example, that's something that's not practiced much anymore. Although it's one of the most important things. You won't be able to take your attacker down and use your jiu-jitsu if you don't practice that. So everything controlled, right? We're doing everything. We're not trying to come home with a blue eye or anything, but I want to make sure my students know how to do this, know how to, you know, if they need to defend themselves. How do you do a triangle and not get slammed, for example? How do you attack from the closed guard or from the guard without getting hit, punched, slammed, headbutted, you know, elbowed? How do you do that? That's it doesn't come automatic. Just because you know how to do a triangle doesn't mean you can do a triangle without getting slammed. So I'm very a proponent of that. You know, I really like to teach that and practice that. And I learned a lot from MMA. Just from watching MMA, I learned a lot. Even though MMA has rules, it's as close as it gets to a real fight. So I often learn from MMA. I like MMA to learn, you know, to learn what they're doing, different guards, you know, how they fight off their back without, you know, standing up, reversing. So I copy a lot from MMA, and also develop my own, you know, versions and tweak whatever, you know, modify things to my body, my style and stuff. So I think that's such an important thing to not forget and to practice, is to make sure you're learning actually martial arts, because now I see in a lot of jiu-jitsu has become not martial anymore. You know, it's become like a sport, you know, which is great. It's great. I competed a lot in the sport, you know, but your core curriculum should be combatives curriculum, meaning like the real self-defense curriculum. Like, just for example, just really, really basic what I teach. For example, in the closed guard, how do you not get headbutted? There's so many, you know, most people don't practice this, so they don't know. They have developed bad habits. They don't know how to block a headbutt because they've never done it. They never thought about it. And one headbutt can end the fight. One headbutt to the right spot can completely end the fight, you know. And the fact is, humans in rage, in fear and flight mode, we strike, we slam, we punch, we elbow, we foot stomp, we kick. So knowing that that's the case, we got to find a strategy around that. If humans in rage, you know, in a self-defense situation, if an attacker would be trying to armbar you, you know, past your guard, you know, then that should be and if they wouldn't be striking, if they're trying to be just grappling you, that's different. That's a different story. But actually, the fact is, in the real world,
they punch, they kick,
when someone attacks,
they
they're trying
slam.
to strike. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think it's so important to learn how to defend against those strikes while doing everything. You know, you on your back, defending against strikes, neutralizing strikes, using it to stand up, you know, using it to submit from the bottom, or using it to reverse and then finish from the top without getting hit. And then also using strikes to set up your advancement, whether it's positional or submission. So I learned a lot from MMA from that. And it keeps on evolving as well. So it's the best, you know, it's the best at it, you know, the best MMA athletes, the best fighters, and they keep continuously evolving. So just we're fortunate enough to actually be able to watch this. If not, if there was no, you know, MMA televised, you know, or internet, we wouldn't be as advanced, as evolved as we are now. It's much more faster. I think the evolution of the sport and the art is just going faster and faster just through technology.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu as well. You know, it's just completely taken off through technology and science. So yeah, interesting times.
Yeah. So guys, get the proven curriculum from Synergy, BJJ, and MMA, and be patient, study it, and you'll get there. Trust me.